Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to recap the week that was in pro wrestling, and that's Monday Night Raw, NWA Power, AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling. A pretty interesting week of shows. We got the fallout from Fastlane on Raw. We got the build-up to both Sawway and Bound for Glory, which we'll get to that in a little bit. And, AEW doing some good stuff as well. And without further ado, let's get into this one as we start off with Monday Night Raw. And of course, we start out with Raw with a promo from Seth Rollins. Pretty much saying, I felt my adrenaline on Saturday. Shinsuke Nakamura took me to my limit. I felt like I was on top of the world after that victory. But then I walked into the back, the adrenaline wore off, and I felt my back was still broken. That match was a highlight of my career. And I want you to know, I'm just getting started. So a little fake out retirement speech a la Mark Henry back in the day. So tonight I don't want a match. I don't want to defend my title. I just want to party with y'all and hear you sing my music. Out comes Drew McIntyre, and of course, Seth with a disinterested look on his face. Seth then points out, "You're not here to party with me, are you?" And Drew's like, "Nope. You want a title match, don't you?" Mm-hmm. Seth then continues, "I just wanted one night to party, to hang out with my people. But of course, I'm a fighting champion. And if that's what you want, you got..." And before Seth can continue, Drew says, "Oh, don't worry, mate. Your party's still on. But I'm just here to give you a warning that someone is bound to jump for you from behind. But I'm here to take you on face to face. And I'm not going to ask for this match tonight. But how about this? We get Seth, you versus me at Crown Jewel." Then Seth retorts, "So you want me at near 100%? I'm not sure how to respond to this." He then asks the crowd, "Is this a match you want to see for Crown Jewel?" Crowd reacts positively. So it's Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. You're on. They shake hands. Seth's trying to get the party still going. Crowd is singing his music. Then Damian Priest attacks Seth Rollins from behind. No briefcase. But down comes Dominic Mysterio. He's got the briefcase. He's got a ref. Looks like there's going to be a cash-in. Drew McIntyre puts a hand up, stops Dom from getting to the ring. Glasgow kiss to Dom. And then Drew tosses the Money in the Bank case up the ramp. So, no cash in tonight. But I'd keep my eye on that. Next up, in a Viking rules match, we got Ivar taking on Kofi Kingston in our first opening match of the evening. And yeah, this was a, not as good as the tag match between Viking Raiders and Alpha Academy. This was still a very, very good, entertaining matchup. Both guys got in a whole lot of stuff. About middle of it, Kofi had Ivar set up on a table, was going for a move. Then Valhalla comes out, takes out Kofi Kingston. Down comes Xavier Woods. He has a stare down with Valhalla. Dumps her into the Timekeeper's area. And a big old crossbody to Woods from Ivar, which, dang, that dude hits hard. Ivar and Kofi then get back in the ring. Kofi tries for a Trouble in Paradise. That gets ultimately caught. Powerbomb through a table. And then a big, beautiful moonsault for Ivar to pick up the victory. And honestly, after losing to Woods the other week, Ivar definitely needed this win. And hopefully we get something fun for Ivar coming soon, especially with Eric out. Get well soon, Eric. Miss you, bud. We then get a little Shinsuke Nakamura promo, kind of reacting to the interviewee, not really giving answers, which is, just fine. Then out of nowhere, Ricochet jumps Shinsuke Nakamura. They start brawling in the interview area, and it takes a whole load of officials to stop them. So, that rivalry is going to continue. I thought Ricochet would be out for a little while longer, but I guess his injury was just storyline. Then we cut to Damian Priest double gripping JD McDonough's neck up on the wall. Looks like that one meme with the two women. Where Priest says, you cost me everything. You cost me the tag titles. Then in comes the rest of Judgment Day, tells Priest to put him down. We then hear from Rhea Ripley that next week I got you a rematch for the tag titles. And then she turns to JD, and tonight you gotta prove yourself and take care of Drew. Now I've got my own business to handle. And then Priest turning to JD, saying, if it wasn't for my teammates, I'd finish you off myself. Which, yeah, that's quite a threat. We then go to Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax, which, honestly, I'm going to give Nia a whole lot of credit. This was a decent match. It was very hard hitting, but I wouldn't say really anything to really write home about. Raquel gets a power bomb on Nia about halfway through, which that was impressive. Then out comes Rhea Ripley. Pretty much takes out both Raquel and Nia. So the match gets thrown out. And then out comes Shayna Baszler, who starts a fight with Rhea Ripley and hits a big old suplex on her. That was... I'm going to say this Fatal 4-Way is going to be interesting. Maybe they'll do it at Crown Jewel. Who knows? I guess we shall see. Then we get Drew McIntyre backstage. He's kind of getting himself ready for his match. In comes Seth Rollins, pretty much revealing, oh, I got our match made official for Crown Jewel. But I just want to ask, what's your deal? Why'd you stop Dom from cashing in? Then Drew said, pretty much replies, I don't involve myself in other people's business unless this involves me. I still want you at 100% and I want my shot. And I don't want a sequel to The Bloodline here on Raw. So, nice little explanation on what's going on Drew. He's definitely heading to a heel turn, so gonna be interesting to see that Crown Jewel match, that's for sure. We then get an interview from Shayna Baszler, pretty much saying, Look, I don't care if it's Rhea, if it's Nia, or if it's Raquel. If I'm standing in the middle of that ring, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. So, I invite anyone to come and take it from me. So, nice little declaration of war from Shayna. We then get an in-ring interview being conducted by Michael Cole, and it involves the new undisputed tag team champions, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, with them pretty much saying, look, we turned up, got the job done. Fastlane was definitely a moment, and I'm excited to be the tag team champions. And then Cole keeps going on about, finishing the story against Roman Reigns. And before Cody could give a solid answer, out comes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, with Sami pretty much going off. Everyone is obsessed with finishing their story. Let me tell you a story about us taking the titles from the Usos, and no love lost for you guys. Congratulations on picking up the win, but now we want our titles back. We'd love to challenge you tonight, but problem is you probably won't accept with Jey Uso losing to us twice. Then Cody Rhodes gets on the stick and say, guys, let's take it easy. We do accept. So that match is going to be our main event for Raw, and we'll see that in a little bit. We then get Alpha Academy. Otis is just chopping Chad Gable's chest as he gets ready for another shot at Gunther. Then Bronson Reed comes in. He says, look, you think you're just going to stroll past me, get to Gunther? Well, know this, little man. I'm the one who's going to be getting the match against Gunther. Which, nice easy promo for Bronson Reed. We then go into this match as it's a triple threat match with the winner getting a shot at the Intercontinental title. We got Ricochet taking on Chad Gable, taking on Bronson Reed. And as Ricochet is making his entrance, he gets jumped by Nakamura from behind. And then we pretty much go right in it. Ricochet is obviously hurting. At first, Ricochet and Gable try to take the big man down. That really doesn't go the way they want it. Gable trying for the Chaos Theory, but that gets ultimately countered. Reed then stacks both Ricochet and Gable on one another, hits a senton right into the tsunami for Reed to pick up the victory. So, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like a great match. That's going to be a kaiju fight. And I can't wait. We then get an interview from Becky Lynch, the current NXT Women's Champion. Pretty much confirming, I'm not 100% after my injury. I have 9 stitches in my arm. But as a fighting champion, I'm never 100%. And this is the biggest opportunity for Tegan Nox. Then enters Xia Li, who we haven't seen in a long time. Pretty much asking Becky, hey, when is it my turn? Becky answers, when is it going to be your turn? Come at me. I'm not hard to find. So, that's going to be an interesting storyline. Hopefully it gets some time. We then get Drew McIntyre taking on JD McDonough. And, at first, Drew was pretty much dominating this match. JD does come back with a little help from Dom Mysterio. But ultimately, after a Future Shock DDT into the Claymore kick, Your winner, it's Drew McIntyre. We then cut to Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley backstage, who have been watching this match, with Rhea saying, I got an idea for JD. And they walk off. Next, we got a sit-down interview from DIY. That's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Super happy to have those two back together. With Ciampa taunting Wade Barrett a little bit, saying, I'm afraid I got some bad news. And then they just start laughing, with Gargano revealing this matchup has been 7 years in the making. In NXT, the fans made us undeniable. What's next? We got DIY on Raw, and we're heading for the top. And then we get Imperium, that's Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, jump Ciampa and Gargano, and leave them laying in the locker room, which, alright, I'm interested to see this rivalry a little bit. We then get a very weird vignette from Tegan Nox, which, okay. We then get a short Tegan Nox interview saying, I've been waiting for Becky to be healthy enough all this time. I've been waiting for my shot, and I'm ready to show the people out there who Tegan Nox is. Then Natalya rolls up, pretty much being teen mom, saying, go get him, go show him what you can do. Then we get Ricochet looking backstage for Nakamura. In comes Adam Pearce, who is the authority figure for WWE, pretty much saying, look, I sent Nakamura home, but it is confirmed in next week that you two are going to be in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. We then roll right into the NXT Women's title match as Becky Lynch defends against Tegan Nox. And, honestly, this was less of a wrestling match and more of a chess match, if that makes any sense. Like, anything Becky Lynch would try to do, Tegan Nox had a counter for it. Anything Tegan Nox would try to do, Becky Lynch had a counter for it. They went hold for hold, move for move, and it felt like art, honestly. I think this was one of the best matches on Raw for a little bit. But near the end, we end up with Becky Lynch slapping the Disarm Her on Tegan Nox, and Tegan taps out for the loss. And while it is a disappointing loss, post-match, they shake hands. Code of honor adhered to. Oh no, wait, wrong promotion. We then get Tegan Nox backstage. She looks a little dejected. In comes Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, who haven't seen them in a little bit too. While they say Tommaso Ciampa has been taken away in an ambulance, and Johnny Gargano's going with him. There's no need to hang your head. You did really well out there. Then Rhea Ripley interrupts, pretty much saying, it's time I make an example of my division. I want Baszler next week. Then she walks off, in which, okay, random. Then in comes Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who pretty much saying, yeah, you did well, you did so good, there's no need to hang your head. In comes Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, Green pretty much putting down Tegan Nox, saying, oh, we having a pity party over here. Next time, don't put your nose in my business. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with her, pointing to Piper Niven. And then Candice LeRae steps up, pretty much, no, Katana Chance steps up, says, how about you versus me next week? So, that should be a pretty fun match. We then get a shot of Jey Uso warming up for his match backstage. And then Drew McIntyre rolls up. Pretty much says, look, over the past couple of weeks, you've been showing your true colors. And now I don't really trust you. Jay retorts, look, I got 5 minutes before I gotta go out there. Make your move. Before a fist can be thrown, Sami Zayn comes in, breaks it up. Pretty much says, yeah, I don't like cleaning up your message. We've been friends now for a while. Jay retorts, look, it's no hard feelings, but tonight it's go time. Holding up his titles. We then go right into our main event of the evening as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn take on Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the tag team titles. And this was a heck of a good tag team match. Everyone getting their stuff in, and it was... And not only that, at certain points of the match, everyone got in the ring and they just started brawling, which, tells me maybe one of them is set for a heel turn. I don't know, maybe no one's Zayn heel group wouldn't be so bad. Sami tries for a haluva kick, gets a big old miss. Kevin Owens tries for a swanton that gets knees up. An exchange of super kicks. Cody Rhodes with a crossroads, super kicks again. And then a Co-D, which is, pretty much the 1D the Usos used to do, aka the Dudley Death Drop from the Dudley Boys, to pick up the win and retain their tag team titles. And then post-match, they all shake hands. So it does look like they're all on the same page, at least for now. We'll see what happens in the build-up to War Games. Overall, Raw, I'm going to say this. Maybe not the best episode in the world, but it did further certain storylines, which I am always good for. Alright, that's good old Monday Night Raw. We now roll right into NWA Power, as we have the finals for the NWA TV title match. Tournament final, as it's Mims taking on Zicky Dice. And honestly, this was a heck of an opening match. Really well paced. And while Zicky did at certain points have Mims' number, ultimately, after a roll-up with his hands in the tights, your winner and new NWA television champion, it's Mims. And congratulations, Mr. Mims. We'll see what NWA has for you for Salway, which I'm pretty hyped for. We then get an interview from World Champion EC3, pretty much saying, yeah, I came to NWA with the plan. What was my original plan? I was planned to work with a big old Brit. Oh, but it wasn't you, Tom. It was someone else. Nick Aldis, perhaps? And then I currently ask myself multiple times, why aren't you on the top here in the NWA? I've known you since our days in FCW, which was the training ground for WWE many moons ago, way before NXT. My purpose for the NWA, coming to NWA, is to bring you up to my level and help you become who you're supposed to be. And while you may not have demons, your demon is next to you in your bed. While you have a soulmate, you have love, so do I. You chose her, I chose this. Which, them's fighting words, like Jesus. That's very nutty. We then get a little tag team match, players, as we have the Southern Six. That's Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor taking on the Spectaculars. That's Rush and Rolando Friedman. And you could see the Spectaculars' trust is breaking down in one another. They tried to get a good match out, but ultimately, after a green whistle, which is a great name for a finish, your winners, the Southern Six. And post-match, you can see the Spectaculars kind of pushing each other. So, will we see a breakup? I'll tune in to find out. We then get a segment with the Full Savages unit, with the manager pretty much saying, look, Dane, I have sung your praises since you've come here to the NWA. I've put money in your bank. I put food on your table. And after all of that, I wouldn't think you'd be such a coward. You had Tim Storm down, but you couldn't end him. You've shown nothing but weakness. While you call yourself a bad man, he's pointing to Troop, is a bad man. You said you wanted a match with Troop. You have something to prove. It's going to be on our terms, and it's going to be a submission match. And then Jack Stain picks up the microphone, pretty much says, I'm going to remind you who the stud in this group was. I can even call myself the most decorated wrestler in the NWA. While Dane might not be a submission guy, I'm not a goof who took the pinfall in our losses when we were a team. You got your submission match. I'm excited to pop the trunk and make Troop tap out. And then Troop gets on the mic, pretty much says, I'm going to prove the world you're a weak coward, and I'm going to make you tap, snap, or nap. Which, that's a great little catchphrase. We then get an interview with Vampiro, which set interesting. It's one-on-one. With Vampiro saying, the NWA has been screwing with us. I'm going to tell you how this match with the Brothers and Violent J's are going to go. Jay, I heard you shooting your mouth off. And this pain, it isn't a fashion statement. Vampiro is so all over the place in promos. I hate it. It's a shame your ego got the better of you. You're going to step in my house. And you've only been here for years. I've been here for centuries. Wait and see. God, I hate that promo style. Vampiro does not make any sense. Speaking of not making any sense, we got Judas taking on Sal the Pal. And Judas, for a while, pretty much dominates Sal. Looks like he's going to get it. Sal the Pal then fights back, hits a sliced bread. Tries for a 619. That gets caught by Judas. Choke slam onto the apron. They get back in. Out comes Gags the Gimp, who just lays into Judas. Hits a sliced bread on the big man. But that constitutes a DQ win for Judas. A bit of a lame ending, but I do understand it's to build to another match. We then get a ringside interview from Chris Adonis, calls himself the best performer in the NWA. And Silas Mason, you're a disgrace for the national title. And I'm going to shine brighter when I take your title. So, looks like that's going to be our national title match coming up. Maybe at Solway, maybe sometime sooner. I guess we'll see. We then finish up with the United States Tag Team titles on the line as the Country Gentlemen, or should I say the Kazanas, take on Daisy Kill and Talos. Now, AJ Kazana, of course, has been a former United States Tag Team Champion, but the other man in that group, I forget his name, I do apologize, he has some heat with the NWA because he wanted a contract. So he's no longer in there. Taking its place on the Country Gentleman is KC Navarro, KC Kazana taking his place. So we got the Kazana family in there to win. And honestly, I'm going to say this. KC looked really good. Like, he's a little bit rough around the edges, but he really took it to Daisy Kill. But then Talos comes in, hits a big old choke slam with your winners, Daisy Kill and Talos. And while the credits were rolling, that wasn't it. As the Immortals, that's Odin's Son and J.R. Kratos, come out. They have a face-off with the champs. And then, ding, 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 new match on for the United States Tag Team titles. It's the Immortals versus Daisy Kill and Talos. And Talos and Kratos pretty much start dominating Daisy Kill. And then Talos pulls Daisy Kill out of the match. And they get counted out. So your winners, the Immortals, however, still champions Daisy Kill and Talos. So I'm going to be saying this match is going to take place at Solway. And maybe we'll see new United States Tag Team Champions. Overall, pretty swell episode of the NWA. And if you've heard the news about the NWA, it looks like Power is going to be coming to TV very soon. I am not 100% sure what channel, though. I'll keep you updated when I hear about it. Next, we got AEW Dynamite, which actually took place on Tuesday this week because it got preempted by the Major League Baseball playoffs. So they were going head-to-head with NXT, which had, John Cena, Undertaker was there, Paul Heyman was there. It was a very interesting night for wrestling. There was even a kickoff show on YouTube for AEW, which featured Minoru Suzuki taking on Eddie Kingston in a very hard-hitting match. Like, why wasn't that match on Dynamite? Like, that would have brought in eyes. Anyway, either way, we start off white hot as Swerve Strickland takes on Bryan Danielson. And, this was an awesome matchup. Both guys absolutely killed it. They went hold for hold, move for move. But at one point, Danielson runs out of gas, aka is succumbing to a knee injury. Swerve hits a powerbomb into a stomp. That only gets you a 2 count. Then Prince Nana is on the apron. He tosses Swerve his crown or his hat or whatever that is. Swerve tries to use it. That gets countered out of his hand. Oh no, actually I'm wrong. Hangman Page comes in, grabs the crown from Swerve. Danielson tries for the roll-up, only gets a 2. right into the Busaiku knee for the win for Bryan Danielson. I would like to see these two have another match. I don't care when. Sign me up, because that was absolutely great. And it does look like we're going to see Hangman Page take on Swerve again sometime soon, in which, yeah, sign me up again for that. We then get a short but sweet Samoa Joe promo. He's sitting backstage. He's in a suit looking awesome. Pretty much saying, yeah, MJF, I have unfinished business with you. At Collision this coming week, I'm on my road back to gold. And I'm going to begin my ascension towards greatness. Which, nice little promo from Samoa Joe, setting up another feud with MJF. We then get one of the most one-sided beatdowns I've ever seen, as Chris Jericho takes on Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hobbs dominated for a while. Like, bunch of spine busters, couple knee drops. Jericho tries to fight back after a bit, including hitting a big old code breaker. But then Hobbs gets right back on it. Jericho tries for the Lion Tamer. Hobbs is way too big and powers out. And then after a big old body slap, your winner, Powerhouse Hobbs. Then Hobbs attacks Jericho post-match, hits another World's Strongest Slam for Callis and Hobbs to walk out. Then we get another segment between Adam Cole, Strong, and the Kingdom, where Roderick Strong wants Adam Cole, who still has a broken leg, to cut his grass. So that's what Cole does. You got the Kingdom, aka the Peanut Gallery, saying, you missed a spot. Cole retorts, I'll come back and get it. Then we cut to back inside the house, with Cole pretty much saying, look, I gotta go. I'm overdue for this surgery. I really want to go get it and go see my friend MJF again. Then the Kingdom pipe up. Adam Cole points out, what's with the giraffe? As he points to the stuffed giraffe the Kingdom have. With Taven pretty much saying, look, this is a gift for Roddy. I see you didn't give him anything. But the giraffe is the most neck strong animal in the animal kingdom. Definitely not wrong. Then Cole retorts, why isn't there any cell service in here? Why can't I watch TV and watch Dynamite? I want to see what MJF is up to. And then Roddy, kind of at the top of his lungs, TV is the devil! Which, yeah, Roddy is trying to keep Adam Cole for himself. That's obvious here. And then Cole tries to go leave again. Roderick Strong, Adam, I got one more thing for you. Cuts off. So I guess we're going to see where that finishes another day, as we roll right into another title match, as it's for the international title, as Rey Fenix takes on freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Now, originally, this was supposed to be Fenix versus Mox, but on the buy-in on YouTube, it was revealed that Mox wasn't cleared to compete, so Orange Cassidy took the spot. And, yeah, this was pretty much a war between the two men. Orange Cassidy, obviously, a bit more healed up, and Rey Fenix a little bit beat up, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, this match was pretty much tick for tack until Cassidy hits a beach break, an orange punch, and your winner, the new international champion, Orange Cassidy, and he has this title for the second time. I'm definitely okay with this. should be another good run for the new champion. We then get an interesting little backstage interview. It's all in black and white. And Tony Storm pretty much says, look, on the show there's not enough cinema, so I'm going to release my short film. And don't worry, it's a silent picture. We don't need all this noise. So in picture, we see this short film, which is Lover's Lament. The full version is actually out on YouTube. I've seen it. And it definitely adds a little bit more context than it would just watching on picture. And yeah, that was just part one. We'll get to it. We then get Wardlow taking on Matt Sydal. After his shoulder tackles, Powerbomb Symphony, your winner via ref stoppage. Once again, Wardlow. We then get a little update on Chris Jericho, who's backstage. He's covered in ice. In comes Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia, with Menard asking, "Oh, what are we doing here?" Garcia says, "Look, I'm checking on a person we call our friend. I'm just being a human being." And then Matt Menard pretty much says, "Look, we're better than this." And he leaves. Garcia sticks around. So it does look like Jericho does have an ally, but I guess we'll see. We then get an interesting rematch as we've seen it in New Japan, but it's our first look at it here in AEW. It's Hangman Adam Page taking on Switchblade Jay White, and we have the rest of Bullet Club Gold sitting ringside as if they're like kindergartners listening to teacher. As the bell rings, Jay White rolls to the outside and just high-fives his guys, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, seeing them sit there ringside is just so funny to me. This was an absolute war. They beat the ever-loving heck out of each other. As Adam Page is looking for the Deadeye, Bullet Club Gold are up on the apron. They're distracting the ref. Then Prince Nana comes down the ramp and attacks Hangman Adam Page. Jay White with the roll-up and the victory. And then Hangman just chases Prince Nana up the ramp to backstage. Jay White then gets on... No, MJF then comes out. He has a microphone saying, "Look at me. You wanted a main event match. You wanted the title. You got it. Now give me back my belt." Jay White retorts, "Hang on, MJF. I'm 4-0 here in AEW. I don't want to hear any more from MJF. Y'all want to hear from me. You want your belt back?" I was about to say yes, but now I'm not too sure. MJF then retorts, "I'm trying to be the bigger man here. I was you not too long ago. Although I'm still not that far off, but I'm trying. I'm doing whatever it takes to be the better man." Jay White retorts, "I could give less of a No, this is still MJF. "I could give less of a about Bullet Club Gold. This is right out of the MJF playbook. I'm trying to be the better man. And for the first time ever, I've earned these people's respect." That gets a nice big pop. And there's two things I care about. My buddy, Adam Cole. Get better soon, buddy. And that title. That title is my legacy. And whenever you win it, that makes you the best in the world. If you didn't have those boys, I would have come taken my title already. Now it's up to you to do the hard thing, be a man, and give me back what you have not yet earned, which is, dang, that's a bit harsh, but a bit true from MJF. Then Jay White retorts, if you really want it that bad, come in here and take it. Right now, we're up 5. You don't have any friends. So how about we make this a little interesting? Find 3 other guys to team up with you to take on Bullet Club Gold. And then, this little controversy. So Juice Robinson takes the mic. Pretty much says, I'm going to be in the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal next week. I'm going to take your ring. And then I'm going to give you a little something. Takes out his roll of quarters. Has Maxwell's name on it. Like, Argh! Bro. And Juice pretty much says, I'm going to break your jaw with me. MJF then pretty much screams, come at me with that and I'll make you eat it. So, here's my issue with this. Obviously, we got the issues going on in Israel right now, so doing something like this is definitely controversial. It adds really, I mean, I do get it. It's kind of a part of MJF's story when he told the story when he was a kid and kids would throw quarters at him, which, oof, it's definitely not the right time for a story like this. Anyway, we get back to it. Second act of Lover's Lament, in which Toni Storm is needed on set. She pulls right into a cab, and this whole Toni Storm thing is awesome. I wish more of the women's division would be like this, because then they would get over. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the wrestling here for the women on AEW. They need more of a platform to show what they're capable of. Because right now, they're not getting nearly enough. Speaking of women's division, we got our second title match, as it's for the AEW women's title, as Saraya takes on Hikaru Shida. And yeah, this was a very interesting match. I wouldn't call it bad, but it was definitely not great. At one point, both were on the outside. Shida then attacks Saraya, gets her back in the ring. Then one of the crew is kind of creeping up. It's obviously someone masked, has the spray paint, goes for the spray. Shida stops him, unmasks him. It's Ruby Soho. Ruby then tries to run up the ramp. Out comes Toni Storm with a perfectly timed shoe. And they brawl to the back. Getting back to the match, it's pretty much Hikaru Shida on top. With, actually, at one point, Saraya grabs Shida's kendo stick and the spray paint. The ref takes the kendo stick, throws it to the outside. Spray paint for the face. Nightcap. 1, 2. Kick out by Shida. Shida with the Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. Then right into the roll-up for the victory. And new AEW Women's Champion, Hikaru Shida. And this is her third reign with the title. Give her a decent reign, Tony Khan. There's so much you could do with this, and I'm ready for it. It is then revealed that Jericho has been taken to a local hospital after the beatdown. And then we kind of get a Tony Khan announcement, although it's through the announcers. And it's revealed that AEW will be donating toys this holiday season for Toys for Tots, which that's of course very nice. We then get a Don Callis promo pretty much revealing there's been a travesty on our family, but I don't have much time, so I got a better idea and uses the Sammy Guevara flashcards while it's in picture-in-picture. And it pretty much says our fight with Omega and Jericho isn't over, and we'll see what's up. We then get MJF backstage. He's getting looked at by the doc. No, he's just backstage. He's got his head in his hand. Pretty much says, look, the old me would be pissed, but right now I'm not in the mood to be interviewed. I'm going to call my buddy Adam Cole. He calls Cole. He picks up. MJF pretty much says, look, Adam, I need your help, man. I'm outnumbered here. I need some backup. But then the call cuts out. Pretty much revealing, maybe Roderick Strong turned off service to cell phones. On purpose. We'll see. Then the Acclaimed roll up, which this is going to be interesting, as Max Caster issues the offers the Acclaimed to be his tag team partners to take on Bullet Club Gold. MJF doesn't answer, he just walks off. Then Billy Gunn interjects, pretty much saying, who are you to just offer our services to this guy? Max then reveals, I know him from training. We've been friends for a while. But ultimately, I just want to see what he's packing. So, we'll see if MJF accepts this. Should be interesting. We then get an in-ring promo from Christian Cage. Pretty much saying, town we're in, you now are seated in front of a champion you could be proud of. I didn't need any extra help to get my wins. I left Adam's jaw on the floor upon my answer. And he said to me that Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne will turn on me when they're done with me. Adam, I'm not just their leader, I'm their father. And that almost made me smile. And what were you doing while I was suffering in the WWE 3 years ago? I was being held back. Where were your aspirations to tag with me then? Your career is going downhill. Mine is on the rise. You need me. I don't need you. Calls out Beth Phoenix. And reveals to Beth that your daughters will be taken care of from their new daddy. That brings out Adam Copeland, who gets into Christian Cage's face. Nick Wayne with a chop block from behind. Then Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne start beating down on Mr. Copeland. Officials file everyone else out of the ring, which leads us to Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus, our main event for Dynamite. And ultimately, yeah, it was fine. Nothing superb to really speak about. This is Adam Copeland's first match in AEW. He's definitely feeling a little rusty, but I think he's got the basics down a lot. Near the end, Nick Wayne distracts the referee. While Cage comes down, he's about to hit Adam Copeland with the belt. Copeland ducks, hits Luchasaurus instead. They have a stare down. Then after a spear, your winner, Adam Copeland. Then post-match, Nick Wayne attacks Copeland from behind. Luchasaurus joins in. Danielson tries to make the save, but the numbers are way too much. But then Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta come on out, even things up a little bit. Then the Gates of Agony and Swerve come out. They join in. And then Hangman Page comes out, starts brawling with Swerve. So, yeah, nice little brawl ending to Dynamite. I feel like this was one of the better episodes of Dynamite in the past couple months. But if you look at the ratings, they got their butt kicked. Which, this is a bit of a message to Tony Khan. Don't just take this as a loss. Take this as a learning experience. There's things that you can adjust on Dynamite to make it better and bring more eyes to the product. Don't give up, Tony. I believe in you. So then that just leaves us with Impact Wrestling. And we started off with the Impact Tag Team titles on the line. As Rich Swann and Sami Callihan take on the Rascals. And, ooh boy, I loved this match. This was pretty much tag team continuity as its finest. Blow for blow, move for move. Near the end, we get an aided cactus driver from Callihan. That only gets a 2 count. Sammy tries for the cactus driver again. Low blow. Rascals with the hot fire flame for the victory and the retention of the titles. This match was absolutely great. It is sad to see Sami Callihan go, as he's now a free agent. It is possible he'll maybe in the gauntlet for the gauntlet match at Bound for Glory, but for right now, he is a free agent. We then roll right into a backstage promo from Kenny King and his new protege. Pretty much revealing, I can't get any authority figure's attention. I don't get it. I really just want my rematch for the digital media title, but now we got a Heath problem, and Heath, you're about to have a health problem, because once I'm done with you, you're going to be eating beans and sardines, which, interesting turn of phrase, so we'll see how that goes. We then get an interview from Kylan King, revealing her and Threat really didn't get along. King pretty much reiterating how Threat attacked Taylor with a steel pipe. Then Santino interrupts, pretty much asking, how do you know what the weapon is? Because I've had people investigating, and it was revealed that the weapon that Wilde was attacked with was a steel pipe. And then almost immediately, Kylan King reveals, yeah, it was me. Taylor Wilde was dead weight to me, so I had to put her out to pasture. It's no longer long live the Coven, it's long live the King. So, nice little promo there from Kylan King. Definitely interested to see a solo run from her. Next up, we got a 5-way match where the winner gets the number 20 spot in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, while the loser gets put at number 1. So some pretty high stakes. Participants, we got Eric Young, Jordan Grace, Champagne Singh, Dirty Dango, and Jake Something. Kind of near the middle of the match, Singh and Dango do a little double teaming on not only Grace, but Jake Something. Each of them trying to sneak a pin, but that gets broken up by the partner. Then, as everyone's down, out comes a very interesting and familiar face as Oleg, whatever his name. I'm not sure what his full gimmick is now? It's the former Vladimir Kozlov, of all people. He gets on the apron, kind of intimidates Eli a little bit, and then he takes out Champagne Singh and Eli, reverse DDT from Dango to pick up the win. So Dango is going to be number 20 in the Calling Your Shot Gauntlet. Jake Something is going to be number 1. So we'll see how that goes. We then get a nice interview from Speedball Mike Bailey saying, facing someone like Will Ospreay at Bound for Glory, it's a bit of a dream come true. But to be on his level, I need momentum. So next week, I'm going to get myself some, and I'm going to issue an open challenge to anyone next week. So that'll be interesting to see who answers the call. Next up, we got Courtney Rush taking on Tasha Steelz, and yeah, this was another really good matchup. Both were definitely match for one another. And then after a big old middle rope cutter, your winner, Tasha Steelz. So she has a little momentum with Purrazzo when they go after the tag team titles. We then get a nice little vignette for the world title match at Bound for Glory. Then we see footage from New Japan with the Motor City Machine Guns and Josh Alexander taking on Tanahashi, who hold the never open six-man tag champs, in which they lose, which definitely nice to see some New Japan footage on Impact. We then see Steve Maclin backstage. He's getting his bag ready to go. Then Bully Ray walks in. Ask Maclin, one question for you. You needed help with Rhino, but last couple weeks you've called me soft. Maclin says, I did. Bully Ray retorts with a pat on the shoulder. Cool. So it looks like they're probably going to be feuding moving forward, which, interesting. We then get to our main event, and oh boy, this was a crazy one. It's a 2 out of 3 falls high impact match between Eddie Edwards and Frankie Kazarian. Now, what does high impact means? It means we get a couple of stipulations throughout. First match, normal pinfall. Second match, submission. And if it gets to a third, falls count anywhere. And so, yeah, Kaz and Eddie Edwards go right at it, right after each other, right off the bat. Kaz tries for the chicken wing. No, wait, I'm too far. Eddie Edwards hits a Boston Knee Party pretty much right off the bat, wins the first fall. So now we got the second fall, which is submission match. They go tit for tat for submissions. Eddie Edwards tries for the Boston Crab, but that gets countered out. Kaz goes a couple of times for the chicken wing, that gets countered. Eddie Edwards hits the backpack stunner, but before he could put in a move, right into the chicken wing, where the winner of fall 2 is Kaz, which leaves our third fall, the last man standing match. And oh boy, they brought out all the weapons for this one. Tables, trash cans, cookie sheets, chairs. It was a nutty war. About halfway through, Alicia Edwards comes out, hits Kazarian with a kendo stick. Kaz then chases off Alicia Edwards. Kaz with the Styles Clash, which that was awesome. Of course, that's only for a 2 count. Then Kaz with a fade to black through the table ringside for the 1, 2, 3. Now your winner, Frankie Kazarian. Man, that main event was so good. It flowed really, really well. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Kaz and Eddie Edwards go from here. Alright, that is this week in pro wrestling. I will cover Ring of Honor, SmackDown, Rampage, and I'll throw in a little MLW too, although there's really not that much new content in there, but I'll throw it in anyway. Obviously, we got MLW Slaughterhouse coming this weekend. That review will be on Monday. Tuesday will be the rest of the week in wrestling. And then next week, I got some predictions for Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. I hope you guys are all ready for it. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.